Итак, блядь. Итак, блядь. Начнем. Кто у нас тут? Золотая бабочка. Кого-то сейчас ёбнут, походу. Ну, понятно.
Galloway. Got it, Skipper. Yeah, I'll bring him. He's my partner, after all.
What have we got?
New case. White female dumped in plain sight in the grass at the end of Hill Street. Hacks are all over it. Captain's trying to fend them off.
That sounds awfully similar.
The first rule of police work is make no assumptions until you've seen the evidence. Skipper wants you to have your newspaper face on, college boy. I think I know the place where they found the lady. It overlooks Sunset Boulevard. Let's go.
Смотреть место происшествия. Костюмчик ничего сидит.
You look at this clown.
Блин.
Beat her up so bad.
Может, побыстрее пойдем.
I return the favor.
Дружок. Давай.
That's that guy from the papers. Solved that big case.
Начинается.
Son, you're a couple of slates short of a full roof.
А, нет, друг, я не езжу на рулем, ты чё?
Can you drive to this one?
Great industry.
Did a decent job on the Henry case, Phelps. Not bad for your first time in Bath.
Thanks, Rusty.
Don't go getting ahead of yourself. That's one clearance under your belt. Now it's a new day with a new dead lady that needs our attention.
No assumptions until we see the evidence, right?
Right. See, I knew you were a fast learner, Phelps. You might get along after all.
Now, boys, you know as much as I do. I'll be holding a press conference once the autopsy's been completed. I have two of my finest investigators on the case, fresh from bringing down the sword of justice on the crazed sex...
Captain, aren't there similarities between this murder and the murder of Celine Henry and of Elizabeth Short, for that
So you don't
matter?
believe there's a crazed sex killer at large preying on women?
Boys, be sensible. We have the greatest police force in all the world, with the greatest scientific investigators at our disposal. How can any killer continue to beat that? Be advised. We keep the gas chamber at San Quentin primed for the sons of Cain who continue to believe they can take a life in the City of Angels.
Yeah, right. Any new leads in the Dahlia case?
Run along, boys, and let these officers get to work. We have God's work to do here, and it can't be delayed.
What do we have, Captain?
Another woman sacrificed. Speak to Carruthers. I want daily reports, gentlemen.
I knew it wasn't safe around here anymore.
Detective, I was first on scene.
So what's going on over there?
Officer, but you can tell me what's going on.
Так. А, еще один фарш. В этот раз без надписи. Окей.
Similar MO.
To what? The Dahlia? I don't think so.
Celine Henry.
That's a closed case. This is probably another sad sack who lost his temper with a broad he wouldn't put out.
Are you a suspect, Rusty?
Watch your mouth, Phelps. All I'm saying is we got enough to do without reopening closed cases.
Talk me through it, Mal.
Severely battered, on display. Footprints would indicate that she has been stomped. Size of the footprints would seem to indicate a smallish men's shoe. What size shoe did Mendez wear?
You finished?
No, I'm not. At a glance, I would say strangulation is the cause of death. I'll need to do further tests for semen.
Angry boyfriend. If they were married, they'd be at home. Not humping out here in Lover's Lane.
You mind if I examine the body? Be my guest.
What's this mark? A cut on a finger.
Fourth finger, left hand, a wedding or engagement ring, violently removed.
Signature mark is very
distinctive. I'll do some comparisons back at the lab and get back to you.
The stomping angle in the Henry case. Was it reported in the press?
Sure was. Every detail a copycat would want was there in the story.
Looks like she was tied up.
It does at first, but that would leave a mark on her other wrist, too. I think her watch might have been torn off.
Well, we have a name. Can you run Deirdre Muller by R&I?
Back in a second.
If the motive was robbery, why not take the money?
Detectives, R&I says that Deirdre Mollar of 130 North Bonnie Bray was reported missing this morning by her husband, Hьюgo Molлер.
What'd I tell you? Let's grab the husband, take him downtown, and work him over. Could have this wrapped up by lunchtime.
What about not making assumptions and going on the evidence?
Так, ну чё, вроде все, да? Компаньон мой уже ушел. Едем в дом Мюллера. Посмотрим, что там. Если что, допросим его и обыск проведем.
You can drive.
Все по стандарту, в принципе.
There still might be some playing the boyfriend angle.
I thought we were on our way to lock up the husband.
If he doesn't work out, that is.
Deirdre Muller has suffered enough. More than enough. You shouldn't make disparaging comments about her without even the slightest inkling of what she was like.
She was a woman, wasn't she? Well, around about my third divorce, I realized women might not be the pure angels we imagined. You're married, ain't you, Phelps?
Don't make any insinuations about my wife.
Hey, she's a woman.
She's the mother of my children.
You're a father, Cole? But don't tell me your eyes don't bend.
This conversation is over.
Так, дом Мюллера. Я обычно обхожу вокруг, еще смотрю, чё почем тут вообще. На всякий случай. Газету не проходит нам. Кто дома сидит? Ну, пойдем.
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD. Is your father home?
He'll be home soon. He's been out looking for Mommy.
What's your name, miss?
Michelle Eloise Moller?
Can we come in?
I suppose so.
Thank you. Could you have a seat for me, Michelle?
On her last fateful night, tracking down Mendez's apartment, detectives found his 6 store of bloodied weapons and clothing, and soon apprehended.
We're gonna have a look around.
He'll be back in a moment. Just sit tight.
Don't think this is anything.
Partner will explain everything when he gets back, okay? No worry about it.
Nothing significant. No good to me.
Elgin wristwatch. Probably the same one snatched from her body. No sign of a wedding ring.
Don't think this is any use to us.
Is this about Mommy? Daddy is trying to find her. Please tell me she's okay.
I'm sorry to have to tell you this, Michelle, but your mother is dead. Do you think you could answer a few questions for us?
Could try.
Some of your mother's jewelry was missing. Can you describe her things?
A ring, a watch. I never paid much attention to that stuff.
I know it's painful, Michelle, but this may be important. She wore a wedding ring?
Mommy chose it herself. A rose gold wedding band and a matching diamond and ruby engagement ring.
She wore a watch?
Yes, a yellow gold Elgin watch. Daddy bought it for her birthday. They had a fight. It was a kind of a makeup present.
When did you last see your mother?
Yesterday afternoon. I went to a dance at Belmont High. Mommy was supposed to pick me up, but she didn't show.
So what did you do then?
I was upset. Daddy came instead.
Ну, я думаю, девочка вряд ли это будет
And did he come and get you?
course. Some boys offered me a ride home, but that's not the right thing to do.
So you were hanging around the school for quite a while. What happened with your father?
I don't know. I called and finally he answered.
Батя где-то шлялся, значит, вечером. А, неправильно. Значит, он обманул.
Your mom and dad are happily married?
What are you saying? Of course they are.
They weren't happy, were they, Michelle? Did your
Здесь
father ever
сомнение
hit your
было
mother?
видно у нее по
Just
лицу.
the once. She said she would leave him if he ever did it again. He bought her a brooch pin to make up for it. And he always wore her golden butterfly.
Thanks, Miss Muller.
Это верно.
You've been very brave.
С одним вопросом не ошибся, но вот.
Hey! What gives?
Daddy, the police
Go to your
are
room,
here.
please, Michelle. I'll talk to the police.
Daddy, Mommy is gone.
Go to your room, young lady. She's not even out of school. You can't come in here interrogating her like she's some
Your wife
kind of...
was found murdered this morning.
Found? What the... But she only...
We have some questions that we would like to ask you.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, I'll do my best.
Так, задаю вопрос, ли на месте
What size shoe do
преступления.
you wear, Mr. Muller?
Why do you ask?
It's routine, sir. Simple process of elimination.
9s, I think.
Ну, походу дела.
Do you know anyone who wears a smallish men's shoe who had a major grudge against your wife? Is there something you would like to tell us, Hьюго?
No, I do not. You finished making hints?
Видимо, правду говорил. Так, следующий вопрос. Заявление об исчезновении.
You phoned in a missing persons report this morning?
Yeah, that's right. My wife didn't come home last night. She left around 9:30. Michelle was out at dance. She called me to let me know that Deidre didn't turn up.
And you didn't report that she was missing till this morning? That's very unusual, Mr. Muller, not to mention suspicious.
Look, I was annoyed with her. That's why I was waiting for her to come home. Why, you telling me something different? You better think about leaving, or you're gonna have some trouble on your hands.
С мужем допрос не получается.
So you were here all night? You stayed in while your wife went out to pick up your daughter?
Yes, that's correct.
You didn't go anywhere?
No, I was here the whole time.
Все вопросы мимо к нему.
Your wife went to pick up Michelle?
Yes, that's right.
Ну, сомнения.
What happened, Hьюgo? You got any theories? Because we're starting to like you for this.
The car park by the school is kind of dark. Maybe somebody jumped her there. Did you try the parking lot?
Опять неправильно.
Your wife was beaten and then strangled. In your case, you have no alibi and a history of violence towards your wife.
That's not true, god damn it.
No, ложь.
It is true, Hьюgo. You're a violent man. You try to keep a lid on it at home, but sometimes you lost control. Your daughter and your wife were scared of you.
You don't know anything about me.
I know about the golden butterfly, Hьюgo, and how you bought your wife off the last time you heard her.
She liked to spend money, all right? Dresses, jewelry, her hair. It drove me goddamn crazy. Do I look like a Rockefeller?
Nobody likes a cheapskate, Hьюgo.
Getting
Одна
hostile with us
правильная.
is a very bad idea, Hugo.
I'm no murderer.
Make some arrangements for your daughter, and then present yourself to Central Station for questioning.
You gotta be kidding me, Phelps. Put the cuffs on him.
This is an outrage. I didn't kill my wife.
Your daughter is in the next room, Muller, so I'm giving you a break. Don't make me change my mind, and don't make me come looking for you.
You should go back in there and bust his ass.
One, we need to break his alibi, check phone records, canvass the neighbors. Two, we have motive of domestic violence, which probably goes for half the men in L.A. Three, we have no evidence tying him to the crime scene.
Hello, detective.
Isn't he the cop who won a medal with himself in all the cases?
Соседка нарисовалась.
Yes, ma'am.
I heard the terrible news over the radio.
And you can help us with our inquiries?
Yes, sir. They had a row last night. I heard Mrs. Muller screaming.
Did you see Mrs. Muller come home late last night at all?
No, not at all. I did see Mr. Muller put something in the incinerator earlier this morning, though.
I told you he was our guy. Now let's get this bum downtown and into a cell.
Look, there he is now.
Step away from the incinerator. Don't let him get away.
Okay, but no
Улики
shooting. We need this
сжигает.
guy to make the case.
А, ботинки. Офигеть.
This doesn't look good,
42-й.
Hugo.
I can explain the blood.
Восьмерка, это американский 42-й.
Get him booked in at Central, officer. Then put him in an interview room. We'll be speaking with him later. And inform the captain.
Быстрое дельце получилось.
Is there someone you can call, miss?
I don't want home, and
You need somewhere to stay, Michelle. You have other family? Grandparents? Aunts or uncles?
call Aunt Helen, but she lives in Bakersfield, and
Call her. We're gonna get someone down here from Juvenile Hall to talk to you in the meantime.
We ought to get some uniforms down here, clean up, take care of the kid.
Так, где телефон?
How's that just been paid look about him?
Galloway, Homicide Division, badge number 564.
Go ahead, detective unit.
Phelps,
We get Ray
1247.
Pinker and a technical services team to a house at 130 North Bonnie Bray Street.
detective?
Send someone down
I need
from
an address
Juvenile
on a
Hall to look
Belmont
after
High
a young
School.
lady.
Checking for you, detective. Belmont High, 1575 West 2nd Street.
Thanks, ma'am.
That's the cop from the newspaper.
Inform Detective Phelps that the coroner has a report waiting. Police morgue downtown when he's available.
Got it, KGPL.
Так, в центральный морг поеду сразу, не пойду в школу, потому что как бы все понятно.
You're behind the wheel.
Давай садись быстрее уже.
I'm surprised, you know. I didn't make the husband for it.
Always make the husband. 9 times out of 10, it's the closest person to the Vic who does the deed. God knows I've wanted to kill some wives in my day.
Lex parsimoniae.
What?
The law of parsimony. Occam's razor. The simplest explanation is most likely the correct one.
You know, you could have said that without getting all liturgical.
I'll try to dumb things down from now on.
Appreciate it. Try this one on your side. Rusty's razor.
How's that go?
You blame the guy that's banging her.
Ah, of course. The famous Lex ignoramus.
Closes cases, Cole. Puts a lot of people away, that one.
Phelps, Rusty, thanks for coming.
Can you blood type the shoes that we bagged and see if they're a match?
Sure. It'll all be in the report, but I'm assuming you want the details now?
Please. Cause of death is strangulation?
Correct. Take a look at the samples on the bench.
What are the normal uses for that kind of rope?
On boats, mooring lines.
Correct. Although Ray says that they're sometimes used as bell ropes in churches.
So are we looking for a sailor or a minister?
Well, in my experience, sailors seem to have the greater libido.
Was Mrs. Mollar criminally attacked?
No external or internal traces of semen.
Thanks, Mal. Anything else comes up, you let us know. Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
Are there any messages for me?
Yes, Detective. A green 1946 coupe, registered to Mrs. Hьюgo Molлер, has been found in the parking lot adjoining Belmont High School and playing fields. Captain Donnelly wants you to head down there immediately to take the school janitor's statement.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Talking about on the radio. What did I tell you?
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Not exactly the happiest of places, the coroner's office.
Carruthers is a good man, professional, diligent. If you're working with a pro, it's easy to overlook the grim realities of a place like that.
Funny job, man. Coroners.
How so?
No, you don't want them to enjoying their work too much. The wrong kind of man can get awfully lonely rattling around a joint full of corpses.
Rusty, that's like something out of the pulps.
Been reading the same ones as me?
I thought you were usually too drunk to get through a magazine.
You know, if I close one eye and squint, you can just about make out the plot.
This is the car?
Yes, sir, Detective.
Have you looked it over?
Superficially. I was told to wait for you guys.
Thanks. We'll take it from here. What time did you see the person park the car?
Late last night, after school social, maybe 1 a.m. I've been keeping a good eye out lately. We've had problems with the child molester.
And this was the same man?
I don't know, sir. I mean, I'd like to say yes, but truth is, it was pretty dark.
All right. Tell me about this man you've been having trouble with.
He hangs near the playground, tries to befriend the children. He was around here last night before the dance.
Is he violent?
Yes, sir, I would say so, yes. There's the son of a bitch now. Hey, you!
Go, Phelps. I'll take the car and see if I can cut him off.
Who's asking?
We can do this the easy way or the hard way.
Name's Eli Rooney.
You've been in trouble with the law before, Eli?
Some.
What are you doing around here?
I like to keep an eye on the children.
Strictly paternal, is it, Eli?
Don't sass me, boy.
A woman was abducted here last night, Eli, and murdered.
And I would love to make you for that, you oaky motherfucker.
Well, I wouldn't know nothing about that. A woman, you say? I like 'em a little younger than that.
Turn out your pockets, Eli.
Now, why would I do that?
Because I'm about to break your fucking skull, Eli.
You're under arrest, Eli. You are in very deep trouble.
Why bother with the paperwork, Eli? I'm gonna take out my gun, and I'm gonna count to 5. Let's see how fast you can run now.
Hang on a goddamn minute. I found that thing in the parking lot.
Get some backup out here, Rusty. We need to get this one downtown and into a cell.
I'll tell them we got a kitty raper coming in. They can roll out the red carpet.
That's the guy from the papers. Solved that big case.
Any ideas?
The school Phelps. Deidre might have got there, she might not. Either way, it's an angle worth checking.
Так, идем в школу. Выбора больше не остается. Где-то, блядь, вход. Нихуя непонятно. Так.
Did you read about the woman who stabbed her husband and then pushed him in front of the car? That's the cop who caught her.
Что-то, блядь, в этой школе сделать.
I think his name is Phelps. I read about him in the newspaper.
Говоришь, что про меня в газете читал.
Oh, sister, I was so tight I couldn't walk. They'll never find out.
Вот, нашлось.
Isn't that the cop who caught the guy who was pretending to be dead?
Нет, не она.
He drove me up to Mulholland, and we did some necking.
Не она, не она.
Sam's taking me out to Palm Springs for the weekend.
Кто такой? Непонятно. Блядь, что ж там делать?
That's the guy from the papers. Solved that big case.
Никого нету. Бум-бум-бум-бум. Бум-бум-бум-бум-бум.
This guy must have escaped from the loony bin.
Непонятно. Непонятно. Типа одна школа тут поставить. Да. Я не знаю, что мне в этой школе делать. А вообще. Тачку надо, наверное, посмотреть. Почему-то только она не смотрится. Да. Так, кстати, не та, он не та. Да, что-то с первого раза капот не открылся. А, ну вот они улики.
Blood and skin samples. We better get Ray Pinker out here. The overalls are stenciled HM. Moller is a mechanic. I wonder what Eli does for a living.
It's from a Chrysler. Could be important.
Ну все. Оказывается, надо было подбежать просто к машине и все. Машину досмотреть. А не бегать вокруг школы, как баран.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need interrogation set up at Central for both suspects being held in the Moller homicide case.
Certainly, Detective. I'll get in touch with the watch commander.
Thank you. You know the way. You can drive.
Fine. Where are we headed?
Едем допрашивать ребят. Давай, где же ты? Быстрее, садись.
I say we make Rooney for this. I think we should lay it on him. He was near the car, he had her jewelry, the DA will love him for it.
Even if he didn't do it?
Who cares whether he did it? You have kids, Phelps? He needs to be taken permanently out of harm's way.
And we let Moller slide?
For a while. He gets a free pass for now. Better not go soft on me here, Phelps.
We'll work the evidence, Rusty. Let him do the rest. Are they ready?
Moller's in 2 and the pervert's in 1. Get in there and get a conviction.
That bum took a swipe at me. Put him down in my sap.
Boy.
Captain, we were on our way to interview Eli Rooney.
Yes, Phelps, I know. This particular fiend is an old acquaintance. I have tried to reaffirm his belief in a wrathful and terrible God. Whichever way it goes, I'll be dealing personally with him.
Пизды ему
Mouthpiece
ждал.
tore strips off me at the grand jury. Case got thrown out.
You look like you've had it rough.
You see me asking for your sympathy, boy?
You down on your luck, Eli?
I had worse. My family ate roadkill during the Dust Bowl.
But you have a job. A parolee has to have a job, correct?
I had me a job down in San Pedro. I'm looking for something new.
What kind of job, Eli?
Working fishing boats, odd jobs around the boatyards. I'm pretty good with my hands.
You ever tie up any of your victims, Eli?
It's not a nice thing to go calling them.
What would you call them?
I can't say. I learned a long time ago not to go talking about the things I like. Talking about it just seems to get people's dander up.
Answer the goddamn question, Rooney, before I brain you.
See what I mean? Short answer is yes.
You have any preference regarding rope, Eli?
I know a good rope from a bad rope, if that's what you mean. That's not what you mean, is it? Any old rope will do me fine.
Mrs. Muller was strangled with a triple braid. Give me something, Eli.
I like braid, but I didn't rope that woman. You're not hanging this one on me, partner.
You killed Mrs. Muller and stole her jewelry.
That ain't so. I ain't done nothing like that.
You have no job and nowhere to live by the smell of things, and you need money. You've been in trouble before, Eli. Who do you think a jury will believe?
I've been in trouble for other things, but I ain't never killed no one. I saw that car coming to the parking lot late last night. Man got changed there and then put his coveralls in the trunk. I saw him drop the butterfly in the lamplight and he strolled out, cool as you like. And I went over and I picked it up.
I don't like you, Eli. I think you're an evil man. I think you try to pass off your pain to other people. I can't make you for this case, but my consolation is that I don't think you will be out of prison for very long.
You can count on it, shitbird. By the way, Eli, the captain and the Hat Squad would like to talk to you next. Any idea what they might want to talk about? For my money, Hьюgo Moller's our #1 suspect. The evidence is solid. I think it's time we hit him with it.
You think those Vice boys get any on the side?
Here's where we stand, Hьюgo. Your next-door neighbor heard screaming coming from your house. You were burning your blood-stained shoes. You have no one who can confirm your whereabouts last night. Your daughter says you're a violent man. We have everything we need to send you to death row, and all you have to say for yourself is, I didn't do it.
I swear I didn't kill her. Give me that lie test. I can prove it.
Why did you burn your shoes, Hьюgo?
Because I knew you'd never believe me.
Are you going to tell me what I want to know, or do we have to take it out of you in lumps?
Give it your best shot. I can take whatever you're throwing.
Do you know anything about ropes, Hьюgo?
As much as the next man. I was a scout. I learned some more in the Army.
Do you know anything about braided ropes?
Some. They're mainly used for mooring lines, hawsers, you know, that kind of stuff. We don't have much use for them in the machine shop. We use chain hoists.
We found your wife's car. Someone parked it at the school late last night. Do you have anything to say about that?
It wasn't me.
Where do you keep your work clothes?
I keep them at work in my locker.
Enough lies, Hьюго. Your overalls put you at the scene of the crime last night.
My overalls are in the laundry of my house.
Green overalls, bloodstained, with the initials HM found in the trunk of your wife's car.
They can't be mine.
Why, Hьюgo? Because if they were yours, they'd be in the incinerator too?
Your wife was beaten with a tire iron, Hьюgo. An appropriate choice of tool for a mechanic.
I know nothing about any tire iron.
You're lying, Hьюgo. You're gonna have to come clean on this.
You got no proof.
Your wife drove a Chevrolet, Hьюgo. What make of car do you drive?
A Chrysler Airflow.
So I guess that explains why the tire iron that killed your wife came from a Chrysler. Hьюgo Mollar, I'm charging you with the murder of your wife. You'll be arraigned and taken before a grand jury. Book him, Rusty.
With pleasure.
Подонок. Сидеть тебе в тюрьме.
I have to say I'm disappointed. I stood in front of a troop of reporters and made promises. Promises of swift and fearful retribution, and you bring me an armful of vagary and happenstance. You made the department look bad, lad. Do it again and your career as a policeman will come to an abrupt and ignominious end. You two are back on the streets. Find street criminals, roust them, beat them, and restore some fervor to your police work. Your next case will come when you've revived my faith in your abilities. Now get out of here!
О, вот так вот. Не того закрыли и все. Патрулировать улицы.